Disturbed by the number of persons reportedly lost to repeated incidences of tanker explosions in parts of the country between September 2024 and now currently standing at 265 souls, President Bola Tinubu yesterday set up a high-powered committee mandated to halt a reoccurrence of such accidents. The decision followed the death of 88 persons in the wake of a tanker explosion that occurred at Diko Junction, Niger State, Saturday night. The president, while mourning the victims, however, instructed the security relevant agencies and road safety authorities to deploy to work with a view to averting a repeat anywhere in the country. At the same time, Tinubu has mandated the National Orientation Agency, NOA, to sensitize the public about risks of scooping fuel from falling tankers. Joining us on the show this morning to discuss how they intend to carry out the directive by the president is Lanre Issa-Onilu, Director General at National Orientation Agency, NOA. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Well, good to have you on the program. Well, the president, we're told, has given the directive to your agency to sensitize, to enlighten Nigerians about the risk of committing suicide by scooping fuel. Well, does the NOA, as it is, have the capacity? And then if NOA does not have the capacity, what kind of empowerment would the National Orientation Agency require to be able to address just this single assignment of ensuring that people realize the simple thing that, look, going to scoop fuel endangers your life and you could die in the process? Capacity, empowerment, possible challenges.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abachi. Well, capacity has components. Some part of it we have. We have the structure to engage. We are present in all the 774 local government with our personnel fully mobilized. On daily basis, we carry out advocacy. We enlighten people. We sensitize them on various issues. This is just one of it. As unfortunate as it is, we will continue to do that. So we have capacity in terms of structure, our layout, with close to 4,000 personnel spread around the country. So we have that capacity in that regard. In terms of the resources to embark on this, well, we do not have it, but we don't complain. The president himself is not complaining despite the enormosity of the task he has to take care of. So we're also not complaining, even though we need to have an enhanced capacity. But we are already deploying. But I want to say, yes, we can sensitize people about the danger of exposing themselves to this risk. But it just happened a few months ago in Jigawa State. And then, despite all that we did, we still have this. And if we are not careful, it will still happen in the near future. Because this is about attitude. It's about the attitude of our people, lack of value, system, that you do not even take your own life seriously anymore. In this part of the world, you don't want to blame the dead, but at the same time, we must also address the issues. The issue is that the duty of care that we have towards ourselves and towards our fellow citizens, it's no longer there. And that's what the reason why we keep harping on the issue of value orientation. You see, there's nothing we can achieve in this country without getting citizens who are committed, who are patriotic, who understand what it means to be citizens of the country. And it's not just about the citizens, including the leadership. So we can do all these symptoms, because these are just symptoms of the lack of value system. We can do all of this, but we must still go back to the basics. We must ensure that we give the orientation that is required to get citizenry to be patriotic, to have that value orientation that will make them to be good Nigerians. You see, we can look at this issue from various angles. First and foremost, the Nigerians of old will not look at the issue from advantage they can take from the spillage of the fuel. They were going to look at it from the point of view of the fact that somebody's investment has gone to waste. And that sympathy is what you would see in the Nigerian of the old. What has happened? you know, that you do not even consider that this particular, you know, product belongs to somebody. It's somebody's business that has, you know, not been wasted. So we have mobilized our people nationwide. The minister led a team to the site, and we visited some of the victims, and the federal government is mobilizing them to go for proper medical care, those who sustain injuries. And all our local government offices are going to do that. We are going to use the media, you know, massively. But when you talk of all of that, the limitation is still about the resources, which you are referring to. The whole that we have for 2025 for everything we have to do cannot even take care of this alone. But as I said, we are not complaining. We will continue to do the best we can while we continue to hope for better, you know, resources to come our way.
All right, thank you very much. And I must say that since the last time you were here with us and now, we've seen a lot more activity from the NOA. And so I'm hoping, I'm believing that more funds has been channeled to you. But let me ask, you talk about the incident in Jigawa last year, October 2024, where we had at least 144 deaths. What did you do then following that incident as an agency? And what do you hope to do differently? Because you yourself have admitted that it's quite difficult to begin to change. It's a whole reorientation of mindsets, of beliefs, of values, which is why your agency was set up. But what did you do then? And how do you hope to do it differently to yield a better outcome, at least you know, following this national tragedy?
Yes, what we did was to engage with the community leaders all across the country. We mobilized our local government personnel. They visited the traditional rulers, the market leaders, the leaders of motor parks, you know, the various artisanal associations. We related with them because this particular issue has nothing to do with the elite. The people who are subjecting themselves to this risk are people who, you know, within the communities, the people who are not, you know, in that good position to understand all of this. So you have to go through their local community leaders. So we have done a lot of community outreaches, an advocacy visit to traditional rulers, and met the leaders of the artisanal associations in all the local government, you know, to let them understand what this is all about, that it's suicide, pure suicide and nothing more. And there's no gain. You know, I mean, if you have the old tanker, what can it do to your life that you have to now, you know, equate your own existence with whatever advantage you're going to have from a few liters of fuel? You're going to be able to do that. Notwithstanding that, we also, you know, did a lot of releases, you know, press statements, and we work with about 300 radio stations nationwide. We have partnership with them, and they also help us to disseminate this information in all their areas of coverage. So we did all of this at that particular period. But it is not something that you do one-off, because it is attitude. And attitude is something that you must be methodical, and it takes a long time, you know, with the resources, with the adequate, you know, personnel to be able to do it over a period of time. It is about attitudinal change. And once we have that, it covers a lot of things, not just about people trying to scoop fuel, you know, from falling tanker. Do you also understand that if you drive, if you have your merchandise or if you carry beverages and you run through some communities in Nigeria, they will ransack it, even when it has not fallen down. It's just passing through some communities. That's not poverty. That's not hunger. That's attitude. Some of them don't even need these things. So we need a prolonged attitudinal change, you know, orientation, and this has to be about the national value charter that we've developed. The president said it in his New Year statement that he's going to unveil it, you know, first quarter of this year. We are working towards that, and we hope that in a few years to come, we will have Nigerians whose sense of duty, sense of care, will be more important to them than the little gains they are going to have, and they subjected themselves to this kind of, you know, inexplicable risk.
Okay. Mr. Issa-Onilu, good to see you. Couple of things. There's also, you know, the case of economic conditions that a lot of people have blamed your government for, that they're not doing well, and that's what's leading to the rise. But anyway, we're not going to say because of poverty it will justify scooping of fuel and all of that. It's just a societal malaise, just like how people will always crowd around an accident victim where they're supposed to give them air and all of that. So that's number one. What's his administration also doing to address that, economic malaise, which is also a big challenge? Because in all of this, we can't devolve the economy. Economy is everything. Secondly, let's also talk about the economy of your department. Some ministries were boasting of getting 8 billion. Ministries that have nothing to do with orientation and sensitization, people like the Ministry of Power, they're boasting that they got money for sensitization, where that money should be plowed to your ecosystem and anyway to be able to get the job done, because the problem we've always advocated, and I remember I was a firm advocate the last time you came here, is that anyway doesn't have enough money and that capacity, that financial fecundity to be able to get things done. So please, what is being done as regards shoring up the budget? The annual budget should be in the billions today.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. The government is adjusting to all of this. We are also making all the, submissions that we can make to understand a lot of competition, for resources. We understand that. The National Assembly also actually rejected the budget for the information sector for the same reason. But other sectors are also making, a case for budget increase. We expect that things will be better very soon, that even this year we expect there will be some adjustment. Actually, the resources is there for in our own case for NOA, but it's not with us. It is misallocated to agencies that actually do not have responsibility to do this work. So we have the task, but we don't have the resources. And those who have the resources are not the ones who have the task. So this misalignment is what we are working on, and we are sure that there will be some solution, to this.
Well, one will expect that your agency, that is in charge of orientation, values orientation, public enlightenment, and all of that, would have a certain level of synergy with these other agencies, ministries, departments of government that also get allocation for maybe to enlighten people about this incessant grid collapse or, emergency matters in some other ministry. That we will expect a certain level of, synergy, cross-fertilization, collaboration, cooperation. Is it that there is a disjunctive, process at the heart of government, that everybody is just working in silos and everybody is just looking for resources, as you said, without focusing on the work and results?
Yeah, well, let me say that happened in the past. In the last 1 year, we've created a collaborative, process where several MDAs are plugged in. On our AI, artificial intelligence platform, we have a content chamber where we have representatives from several MDAs who have realized the importance of engaging with us. We work with a number of them. We work with NIMET, we work with the NIMC, we work with NEL Fund, we work with EFCC, we work with ICPC, we work with a number of them very well. On a daily basis we interact, and the issue is still that whatever we need to them, we need to do for them, we need resources to be able to accomplish those things. But we are doing the best we can. People are noticing it, but we can do a lot better, with adequate funding, so I'm sure that solution will also come. So the collaboration is ongoing, and we are building on it. NIMET, you will recall that last year that people were caught unawares, as if flood was just coming for the first time. This had been a recurring decimal. It happened every year. But yes, people were caught unawares last year. But NIMET had come out since January last year, giving all these details. And it is the responsibility of NOA to take this information to the nooks and crannies of the country so that they understand and prepare ahead. Even farmers were affected because they didn't know what time to plant and what time not to plant based on the calendar for rain. So all of that, we are working with NIMET this year to ensure that everybody has the adequate information about the attitude of the weather, this year, so that everybody can prepare and do the right thing, and including the farmers. So we are collaborating, only that it is not at that level where it ought to be. And some agencies do not understand as yet. But we work with many agencies, including even the National Assembly. We are working very well with the National Assembly also on this to ensure that Nigerians get the information. No agency has the capacity that NOA has. And that is the wisdom behind setting up an agency like this, to be the clearing desk for all these, messages to get to the people. So it's an ongoing process. In the last 1 year, a lot of improvements have come, and we will continue to do that. And all thanks to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because the agency, as we all know, was abandoned for over a decade until the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came, and as part of the Renew Hope agenda, it says you cannot build Nigeria if you do not build Nigerians. So that is the process we are working on, to build Nigeria so that Nigerians can build Nigeria.
Very quickly, I get that point. Now, you started initially by saying NOA has the structure. You have offices in 774 local governments, but do you have the personnel? Because skill set is always a problem. You can have offices, you don't have people with the required competence. And value orientation is not something you just ask some roadside persons to come and do. Do you have the personnel to do the job?
We have personnel in terms of skill set. We do not have in terms of number, because NOA clocked 35 about 2 years ago, meaning that all those pioneer staff were due for retirement in the last 2-3 years. So there have been max exodus. From 7,000 establishment capacity, we are below 4,000 now. So that's one other issue. But we are working on all of that. These are not issues that you make noise about. You just have to get the job done, and again, also engage with the relevant institutions and individuals that will assist to solve all of these problems. And we are getting positive, because people understand the intention of the president, they understand the commitment of the president. So when you make this engagement, they know that it's part of the component of the Renew Hope agenda.
Well, thank you very much for your time with us this morning. We look forward to seeing the efforts by the NOA following the president's directive, and hopefully ultimately seeing a reduction and even an end to these fuel tanker scooping of fuel and destruction of lives and properties. Thank you so much, sir.